Sammy Baugh, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the dominating performance against the Cincinnati Bengals, our first win against those scrubs since 1991, and the upcoming Thanksgiving Day battle against the hated Dallas Cowboys. This is much more live with Aaron and John.
What's up?
What's up, John?
What's up, Aaron?
Excellent.
Dude, there's a game today.
I know, I am pumped. Welcome everybody.
To Harry Hog episode number... What number is this? Do we have a number anywhere?
506.
506. Welcome to Harry Hog episode number 506.
Turkey Day.
What?
What?
Dude,
What?
check out my awesome t-shirt from the 1980s. It says, if you are watching this on YouTube or on our live stream on Discord, it says, I root for two teams, the Redskins or Washington football team, and whoever's playing Dallas.
That's a classic shirt that they sold like millions of in the 80s. Like some dude outside of the stadium thought about it. Mr. Outside the Stadium shirt seller. And then everyone else started selling them. That looks like an original from the original Outside of the Stadium's seller, dude.
I forget. Yeah, it is. It's an original shirt. That's for sure. I had to buy this on eBay, but I had this shirt when I was growing up in the 80s. I had the same exact shirt.
Dude, remember Josh's
It was a little smaller than this one, though.
remember
Josh's
foam finger that said Washington someplace special so they wouldn't get sued? That generic hand.
Mr. Foam Finger Stella.
And I brought out my retired Art Monk mug for today's game, which I've had.
Heck yeah.
forever. It's really fading, though. That used to be all like black, and now it's like lightish gray.
It's like a lot of grayish stuff. It's a great mug, though. It's a great mug. Dude, I noticed you put a turkey on our episode 506 on our screen here on YouTube, Discord, all that stuff. What was that?
That's the turkey. The turkey is pardoned at my house because I'm bucking with tradition, much like everything else in 2020, and I am smoking some brisket for today's festivities that I started at like 5 a.m.
The turkey is also pardoned at our house because, like every year on Thanksgiving, Roberta and I eat steak. It's
So
like
we're
the one day a year we eat red meat nowadays.
So we're both eating beef today.
I know, and we were actually talking about this last night. It was like, when was the last time we had beef? Like beef. Not like chicken or pork or anything, but like red meat.
Beef. You used to get junior bacon cheeseburgers plain all the time.
All the time, plain.
I don't get beef that often either, to tell you the truth. If we do get beef, it's usually like that Laura's lean beef where there's like 0.1% fat. So
we do tacos every year, but we do tacos with like turkey meat nowadays.
You can grill that Laura's lean beef and not worry about any flames because there's no fat that drips down. It's actually pretty good though. You might want to check that out. But enough about that, dude.
Enough about that, dude. We got a game today, and we need to celebrate. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Dur, 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 dur.
Celebrate.
We are only one game. No, we are half a game out of first place. Whoever wins today is going to be in first place, at least until Sunday, of the NFC East.
By this evening, when you guys are kicking back with your tryptophan comas, contemplating going back and getting some more cold stovetop stuffing that was left over and like warming up some gravy on it, we could be in first place.
We could be in first place.
I think you should have. Tonight, that extra piece of pumpkin pie for you if we're in first place. That's what I have to say.
Oh, I thought you were going to have the turkey again. there, Joe. Oh, look, it's Joe Gibbs and what's her face from the TV. Oh, and Ron Rivera. I can't hear you, Aaron, though. And my face just disappeared. Okay, there we go. Oh, Aaron may have dropped out of the podcast. I see him talking. He's going, what? 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 But I can't hear him. All right. Well, as Aaron is getting all ready, I was thinking about, along with David Herzing on our Discord, we were talking about the on Thanksgiving Day and the Redskins records on Thanksgiving Day. Very good, not very good at all. I think the only time we've ever won actually is 2012 when Colt came in.
Check. Am I back?
Oh, there you are, Aaron. Colt
My mic got
came
unplugged.
in and won that game, and that was about it. Your mic got unplugged.
Yeah, I need to
Do you have a
tape it in.
child running
It just
around
like
under your desk?
no, it's just there's nothing that like retains it into the back of this new microphone, and every once in a while, if I hit the cable, it pops out. So I need to just tape it in there.
Whoop.
But all right. So what was I trying to talk about? You don't know.
I don't know because you were going.
Oh, so what I was gonna say is that if I can go back to this screen, it was weird that it happened right when I went to this screen. Can you hear me still now?
Yeah, I thought so too. All right, Joe Gibbs. Oh, my face disappeared though.
Oh, let me fix that.
There I am.
Whoa. all right, good enough. Okay, so
there we go.
So Joe
Coach
Gibbs
Ron.
and Ron
Coach
Rivera,
Gibbs, Coach Ron, and
Julie Donaldson. I'm surprised we don't
Yeah.
see her like football style signature up on the screen. But anyway, if you didn't catch it, which I didn't either, I just read the article. Apparently, Joe Gibbs was on there talking about the importance of the rivalry and how it's the one game that he misses, the Redskins Cowboys games, and he was like,
Oh,
in
really?
Case you haven't noticed, Ron, these teams don't really like each other too much." Which is about
right
the
now,
most.
I think.
It's about the most harsh words you'll hear out of Coach Gibbs. We just don't like. each
Yeah,
other.
really. These teams just don't like each other. Oh.
So anyway, Ron Rivera said that he has noticed that. So maybe in his grandfatherly way, Joe Gibbs pumped up the team a little bit. I hope.
I hope so.
I will say
As long as
this:
it's not, as long as it's not Scott talking to his dad on the Redskins.com, WashingtonFootballTeam.com. Dad, what do we do when we need to play? I don't know. I don't think I ever beat the Cowboys, son.
I will say this.
I don't know if Ron Rivera. No, he did. They did once because it was Darryl Green's last game. Was that Ron Rivera? Was that Norvell Turner? Was Steve Spurrier was already in charge?
I don't know.
even remember.
I
So
think I
long
read
ago.
that we've only beat them once on Thanksgiving, and I think that was 2012.
Yep. I was talking about that while you were mouthing away.
Oh, okay.
And that was the year that we had Colt McCoy in there. And he won that game because RG3, that was the first time he got hurt, and then he came back too quick, and we all know the rest of that story.
And it ruined his season, his year. It ruined his career.
It ruined his career. Really ruining his career is probably getting drafted by Washington.
So
And
basically,
the Allen the Allen error,
Allen error.
Allen and Bruce.
And then Colt McCoy came back in 2018 and also played and threw 3 picks, and we got beat. And that was the last time
he
we
was
played
bad
them.
in that game.
I honestly didn't realize that we had played them 9 times on Thanksgiving. Is this the 10th time or is this the 9th time?
9 times. So today is the 10th time because we were 1-8.
1-8. I have a bad feeling about today's game, but hopefully we actually show up and play. We have been playing better the last 3 weeks, in my opinion.
We have been playing better. They're coming back. They've got the Ginger Ninja back at quarterback, so we'll see if he makes it through the whole game without getting his brain tossed out by John Bostic again.
Again.
And
just like we
again.
just tossed quarterbacks out, dude. We've already knocked out the Ginger Ninja.
Every time we knock we knocked him out. We almost knocked out what's his face with the Eagles, and he's the worst quarterback in the league right now.
Wentz.
And then we knocked out Joe Burrow. We destroyed his knee, poor guy.
And we also knocked the helmet off of Stafford last week. Like his
That's
helmet
true.
went
We didn't
rolling
win that
across
game,
the
though.
field too. Yeah, we didn't win.
That Stafford's a dude, though, man. You just got him. He was like, what?
Yeah. So speaking
Whipping
of
his hair back and everything. What?
Speaking of the last game against the Bengals, I went back and watched probably the first quarter and a half of it. And I was trying to figure out, I was just watching the defensive line pretty much area the entire time, trying to figure out why the heck we can't stop the run. And I think part of it is actually the linebackers, because it looks like the defensive line is just going and like doing what they're supposed to do, and the linebackers aren't filling in. And then secondly, Joe Burrow.
They're not backing the line. They're not backing the line. They're not linebackers.
Yeah, I don't know what. They're
That's
just
the problem.
standing around looking like idiots.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, all late. Like late to the party.
Yeah.
And then they'll miss tackles. So there's that problem, but then Joe Burrow was just getting rid of the ball quick. Like 2 seconds and it was gone. Like we were getting some push, but he was getting rid of it fast. The other dude.
He was.
Whoever that other dude wasn't. He got destroyed. What was that guy's name?
The Cincinnati Danucci guy. Oh, what was his name?
No, Bonaducci
Steve?
was with the Cowboys.
What was his name? Finley.
Bonaducci.
Finley. His name was Finley.
JP. Yeah, JP's brother.
It's JP Finley. That's right.
JP
Finley's brother. And I mean, once he came in, you could tell with them, it was the same thing with the Cowboys. Like they just gave up when their quarterback got knocked out. That was pretty much the end of the game.
Yeah. I think they only got like something like 25 yards afterwards. Let me see if I can find
it was very, very little.
You know what really stinks is I used to just be able to type in like Redskins, Bengals stats, but now it'll go back to like 2 years ago because it doesn't recognize the Washington football team as Redskins for newer games. So you have to say Washington, type all as Bengals stats. All right.
Who was on here typing up, we want Dallas, we want Dallas? Who is that?
That was me.
Or was that you? That was you. We do want Dallas. Where is Dallas?
Yeah, where is Dallas?
Well, it's going to be one of those games that, we could totally whoop them, but we're in Dallas. They actually have fans there. Sorry, we're in Arlington. They actually have fans there. And in a somber note for them, their strength and conditioning coordinator died this week. Like rushed out of their practice facility, and he died. He died, I guess, yesterday. And he used to be with the Cowboys. He was with the Cowboys, and he was with the Giants for almost a dozen years before that. He's a 5-year NFL veteran. So a lot of people knew him and respected him and everything. So if they need anything to get fired up about, number one, they got their butts handed to them by the Redskins, who hate them. And number two, I think we're kind of ripe to get getting our rear ends handed to us today if we're not careful.
Yeah.
How about that?
But what I only saw this as a little footnote, and you'll remember Jim Hannafin was our offensive line assistant for those Super Bowl years, a couple of them, and he passed away also.
Yeah.
So he was, I guess, Joe Bugle's assistant for a while. Hey, Oldie's on here from Sweden. What's up, Oldie?
Dude, we used to say that Harry Hog football, we stretched across international boundaries, man. We were all over the place. It was mostly people from the DC area who like moved with the military to like, Europe or Asia or something like that.
Or like
Harry Hog football across the cosmos.
Active duty also. A lot of dudes in Iraq. But now that was back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
The team's
and
so bad. Dude,
now. If you're active duty and you're talking about being a Redskins or Washington football team fan right now, you're a true fan. That's for sure.
True fans. So,
Dude, give me that turkey sound, man. Come on, dude.
let's look at the stat line.
I love Thanksgiving. Let's look at the stat line. All right. Where's our stat line? Where's my stat line?
Oldie's probably excited that it's not in the middle of the night from what I'm seeing, like when we're doing this.
Yeah, really. Well, I mean, it's going to be, it's still, yeah, true, because it's going to be on at 4. So over there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's still going to be on pretty late.
Yeah. Let's see. No, I mean, I think us being on the podcast live and is what he's saying. Like, he can come on here because.
Yeah. I was about to say.
All right, let's go to the
506 episodes in. We're finally getting old and doing a morning episode.
All the rest of our peanut gallery friends are, I guess, cooking turkey and things like that.
Turkey for me.
We are competing with the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, which I don't know how that's working. Are they doing the parade?
I don't know. My dad might know that. He always calls me to try to get me to watch it, and I'm like, okay, and I never watch it because it's.
Is he like, Jonathan, the parade's on?
More or less, yeah.
That's what my mom does every Thanksgiving, as if it's not on, like, as if you didn't know it was on. You wake up and the parade's on. And it's usually like, here's so-and-so in the newest Broadway hit musical live in front of Macy's. And then they do some number, and then they, like, tail off.
And they're singing it. And it's like 30 degrees and windy, and there's like people singing in these teeny tiny little Broadway costumes out there, and they're just like, I'm so cold.
And then they run into Macy's.
And they're probably lip syncing too.
Yeah. And then they're like, and later on, the big guy himself will be strolling down Broadway on Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
And who is that? You don't even know who it is. It ends up being like some like minor, like,
no, I'm talking about
I don't know, rock and roll guy or something.
No, I'm talking like, the guy that's announcing it. Yeah. You're like, who are these announcers? Anyway, enough about.
We're blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Anyway.
All right, dude. So the game. Let's get to the stats on the game. The defense was good.
Look at the rush yards.
Wait, a number of sacks? We have what, 4 sacks?
I don't know. It doesn't.
You want to start at the offense? Let's go offense, defense. Both. We had a good game, but we played against like one of the bad teams, and we knocked out their one good weapon. Because originally, early in the game, it looked like they were starting to click on there, and Joe Burrow was hitting AJ Green. I was like, oh great, AJ Green's way beyond prime, but here we go. It's going to be his game for 2020 because it's against us. Once we knocked out Burrow, that was it.
Yeah, I do want to point out something. Up until this point, Rivera hasn't been playing Fabian Moreau. And look what happens when he gets in. He got a pick.
He did. He got a pick right at the end of the game, but still, he got a pick.
He's got 2 on the year, dude.
Yeah, I saw him in there, and I was kind of surprised to see him, and I was thinking the same thing you were. I was like, when he goes in there, he kind of makes plays, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I kind of think that, who's been really quiet after a good rookie year? The People's Corner. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I haven't really seen him get burnt, but I haven't seen him make big plays.
I've seen him get burnt a couple times, but it was on questionable stuff, so wasn't sure if it was his. But I think he's been solid. I think he's been rather solid. Yeah. It's one of those things when you mention their names a lot, they're either like really good or really bad. So, like the linebackers, really bad.
Ryan Kerrigan in his limited play still gets another sack. Got to call that out.
That's why we need Ryan Kerrigan there, because he gives a lot of leadership on the line. I know I can't remember if he's a captain or not, or if Jonathan Allen is the only captain on the defensive line. But I mean, we've got what am I trying to think of? We got Chase Young in there. He's got someone like Ryan Kerrigan, who's been in his 9th or 10th year now. Tell him everything he needs to know. All that stuff. It's good that we have him. I'm glad we didn't trade him because I don't know. Like we said before, he's one injury away from being a starter. You kind of need him in there. But Chase Young in this game. Chase Young had a play early on in this game where he got posterized on a play. And after that dude was mad.
It was like steaming out. You could see like smoke coming out of his nostrils on the sideline. He was so mad. He was just like,
he was so pissed.
He looked like such an idiot on that play. We were just like, all right, he's mad now. He's so mad.
Mm-hmm.
And he destroyed
and after that,
Joe Burrow on that
he destroyed Joe Burrow. He knocked the ball out right before he got to. I mean, he kind of changed the game. He hit him right before he got to the goal line. They knocked the ball out. We got the ball back. There was all that mess and drama in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
eventually
it was one of those things where just like, well, he got burnt on that play, and let's see what he does now. And he had a great game after that. Great,
he saved
game.
A touchdown.
And again, he doesn't have the sack numbers, but he's getting like double and triple teamed a lot.
And he's pumped for this game.
And that's how people like, yeah. And that's how like Tim Settle got through and got a sack. We know Kerrigan and Sweat each had a sack each. James Smith Williams and Jimmy Moreland had a sack together.
They met at the quarterback.
That's crazy. James Smith Williams. Who?
He's one of the hyphen guys. And then
he's one of the hyphen guys, like Sean Hampton, who's not really hyphenated.
You know who else had a great game?
Pierre Louis.
Darby, who generally sucks.
Oh man,
he had like 3 or 4 passes defended.
He had a really great game. What did you call him during that game?
I don't know. Your voice keeps cutting out for a second. I hope our connection stays stable.
Yeah, I hope so.
What did I call him during that? Oh yeah, I said, dude, the first time I've never seen him without his helmet on. I don't think interviews or anything. When they showed the close up on him, I was like, dude, he looks like he's straight off of like Madden 98 or something. Like his face looks computer generated and not quite
like
real.
Computer generated.
It was like too perfect. You know what I mean? Like his face, like perfect skin and whatnot. And it didn't look, I don't know. It just didn't look real. And I was like, it looks like he's got a fake face. Fake face Darby.
So we just started calling him Fake Face Darby or Fake Face for the rest of the game. But it was a good game for him, so we kept being like, yeah, Fake Face.
Yeah, Fake Face was tearing it up. Look at
Bryce. Had a good game.
Bryce Johnson in the YouTube chat saying he wants that turducken. I had turducken last year.
This year I'm going 1 year too, yeah.
This year
it was
I'm going
good.
brisket.
It's very good.
It's kind of hard to cook turducken correctly because usually one of the birds, I forget which one, will be overcooked. And the outer one, which is the turkey, will be
I guess it's yeah.
One of them's overcooked, and the other one you have to keep cooking, and then it's hard to. And I guess there's some tricks with it, with I don't know, putting ice in. I don't know. Couldn't get it quite right.
We had one that was fried.
Oh really?
It was with my aunt in Florida a number of years ago. So they fried a turducken like outside in the driveway. You know, sounds like very redneck, but it was actually like a really nice neighborhood. But they had like the fryer like out the driveway. He took it out there, it was like, and that's how he cooked it.
Yeah, those things are dangerous, right? Because if you don't get all the water off of the whatever you're cooking, like people will try to throw like frozen chicken wings in, and it'll like shoot like 20 feet up in the air and like burn the crap out of people. Because the water with the cold water with the oil, it's dangerous. That was like really big, 10 years ago? Let's do it like they do down in the bayou and like fry our turkeys. Because that's so much. As if turduckens are healthy, but as if the brisket that I'm cooking is healthy. But speaking of
the steak that we've got.
I sent you a link so you can monitor my cook. Did you see it? Like
I saw it this morning.
I've got one of these little
Check it
electric fan things that hooks onto my big green egg, and it like keeps the airflow perfectly through there. Right now I've got, I don't think you can see it. You can't. 226 degrees and the brisket's at 154 degrees. Cooking nice and slow.
Degrees.
Started it at like 5 a.m.
That's the way to do it.
Anyway, I digress.
All right, let's talk about the offense here.
All right, offense.
So offense on the Bengals side of the ball, we got to see our friend Samaje Perine.
Yeah.
Rush 5 times for 19 yards. Sounds
Before
like a
you
very
go-
Perine kind of rushing day.
Nuh-uh, there's no fumbles. But before you go further, I wanted to... Oh, wait, did he fumble? What is this? What is this over here? FPTS.
He did not fumble. He did not fumble for a loss.
What is this? What is this stat? Can you see it?
What is this? Is this your mom? What is this?
What is this FPTS stat? I don't know.
Sounds like he's got a disease.
But before you go further, I want to give my hats off to the defenses, which has looked pretty bad against the run and suspect, and have been taking a lot of criticism. I will say that we have a habit of letting dudes that used to play against us come back and destroy us. And for 2 weeks in a row, they held Adrian Peterson to, 20-some yards or something. And they held Samaje Perine to 19 yards on 5 carries. So, and 8 of those yards was on one of the carries, dude. So that only left him with 11 yards on 4 carries the whole rest of the game. None of their runners had over 20 yards, dude. None of them. Their longest run was Finley on that one scramble where we're like, "What are you guys doing?" It was like 16, and they let him get 19 yards, and we're like, "What the?" But anyway, that was the longest run in the game.
Yeah, and opposed to us, Antonio Gibson almost had 100 yards. He had 94. He had a touchdown again. 8 touchdowns this year? 9? Something like that. McKissick had a pretty good game as well. 8 touchdowns for Antonio Gibson this week. He was like a Pepsi nominee for Player of the Week. Tressway had like 3 punts. He grounded within the 20. You were talking about it during the game. You were like, another one in the 20. Another one in the 20. So he got Player of the Week for that.
Special teams Player of the Week.
All-star, man.
All right. Yeah. Peyton Barber, dude, what do you think about him? I think we should just he never does much. Why do we even bring him in? We got 2 running backs that can do it.
It's almost like they put him in to kind of like, man, I don't know. It's, back in the day with the Redskins when we had like John Riggins, or we had like Ernest Biner and Gerald Riggs. That's a good combination. Thunder and lightning. And this one we've got Antonio Gibson, and we got J.D. McKissick. One guy's kind of bigger. Antonio Gibson, he's kind of a weird thing because he's switching to running back, but he's doing better and better every week. McKissick gets a lot of passes. And then you got Peyton Barber who's just kind of hanging out.
I guess he's supposed
to be. And every time he's in, I'm just like, why is Peyton Barber in? Because it's going to be like he's a Perine. Every time he's in there, he's like a Perine. He just hasn't fumbled yet,
Oh, yeah. Speaking of someone that can't hold on to the ball. All right. I will say that it was actually an interesting call for that 4th and 1 where they brought Logan Thomas in to take the direct snap. I'm surprised he didn't drop it.
That was not bad for Norvell's son. Yeah, he didn't drop it. Norvell's son kind of called up. See, that's the thing with these cute tricksy plays. Like when they don't go well, you're just like, well, that was a dumb play to call. And when it does go well, you're just like, hey, that was a cool play to call, and it kept the drive going. So it's kind of 50-50 with those things.
I do want to call this out, though, and we've been saying it all year. We have to get a tight end. Look at Logan Thomas, dude. Again, hands of stone.
Oh, geez.
Look at this. Look at his stat.
Yeah.
He was targeted 5 times, and he only came up with 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I don't
And I
remember
remember,
Alex
like,
Smith being very
it's-
inaccurate. He was pretty good the whole game. So I gotta
He
say,
was. Alex Smith
Smith
actually had a rather good game. It was
Alex,
his first win since for 2 years.
Yeah, and he's been playing. All right, let me rewind. Before he got injured, we were 6-2,
Yeah.
but all those games were like little short dump offs and like crappy passes that we were saying. We were saying Alex Smith sucked during that time, and we wanted him benched. But do you think now that could have just been like Jay Gruden's crappy offensive calls? And
I think
Alex
it's
Smith
part of it.
was as good as he is now, or is Alex Smith playing better than before he got injured?
I think the biggest thing right now is that Alex Smith has looked at the last 2 years of his life and almost losing his leg. And now he's starting football games again for a professional football team at the highest level. And he's like, man, I'm not going to sit here and dink and dunk it for the last few years and make a bunch of money. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to sling it and try to give it everything I got, because I mean, he's been to the playoffs a number of times. He loses in the first round every time.
Yeah.
This was with the Chiefs mostly. And I think he's just I think for him, he's just like, this might be the last time I ever get to start. So I'm just going to do it. We need to throw deep. We need to go for it.
And
you know, maybe he's going to take a few more chances, you know?
He's been accurate too. He had that one pick in this game, but it was like off of someone's hand. It wasn't like a horrible throw. So,
right.
It wasn't nearly as bad as, dude, did you see like Tom Brady in that game on Monday night? Like his interception, you're like, where was that going, dude? Like there was no one there.
Yeah, exactly. Like you almost think that someone just ran the wrong route, but I think on that one, that was him.
Yeah.
Like he thought someone was going to go that way and they weren't going to.
Yeah.
But you know, he's got a new coach for the first time ever in the pro game. So sometimes things like that'll happen.
Yeah, so my it'll be interesting to see what Alex Smith does today. The last time we played Dallas was it Allen that played? I can't even remember, 4 weeks ago or whenever it was.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see what Alex Smith can do, and we'll see what the Ginger Ninja can do. And of course, like you were saying, Dallas had that tragedy yesterday with their coach passing away. So they're either going to come out flat or they're going to come out super pumped and try to win one for the Gipper, so to speak.
Yeah, really. Let's do let's go into the injury report here.
We don't have what's his face on.
We've got an injury report right here. Normally, when we do these on Tuesday nights, we don't have an injury report that's quite up to date. Like we get stuff in the newspapers a little bit online and things like that.
Yeah. Hold on.
But
Remember
today
when
we
I
actually
added
have
back
an
in
injury
the
report.
Remember when I added back in the report stuff?
Oh yeah.
I got to find the music though. So hold on. All right, here it is. Ready? And now the injury report with John Adams. Wrong button.
It's all 6,000.
It is all 6,000. All right, people that are out this weekend, we already know Ryan Anderson's out. We want Dallas. DeShazer Everett is the big name that's out, so we'll see who's going to play back there.
He was out last
considering
week,
that they've got Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and the Ginger Ninja, who is the backup but is still okay. I think we're going to be seeing people getting burnt in the secondary today for sure.
Maybe even fake face.
Especially with DeShazer. I think, you know who I think we'll see a lot of is Apke getting bad angles and running at people badly.
Apke's horrible. Didn't you say they had Fuller playing safety some last week?
Yeah, Fuller's playing safety some as well because
Apke sucks.
our starters are out. And Apke sucks. Dustin Hopkins still questionable. He had to miss that field goal at the end of the game, didn't he?
Just so that
He's
I can
still like the
continue
second worst kicker.
Just so I
Just
can
so everybody could start joking about the ad. Cornelius Lucas might be back. We'll have to see. Depends on. It's all good. We'll see where Morgan Moses starts. If he starts on the left side, then we don't have another tackle.
Although David Sharp
Terry
didn't do
McLaurin,
that horrible last week. He wasn't as bad as I thought he was.
He wasn't terrible. Yeah, he wasn't terrible. So we'll see. It's only been 4 games since the last game as well, or 4 days since the last game. So Terry McLaurin had an ankle injury, but he's going to play. We'll see how he does. He had another just fantastic game. He's so good.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin had 5 catches for 84 yards.
Yeah.
He's closing in on 1,000, isn't he, for the season? How far is he from it, I wonder?
For who?
McLaurin.
I don't know.
Let me see. I think it'll give me his season. He's at 871 yards right now. 62 catches,
871 yards. So he's
230 yards away.
He's only had 3 TDs, but yeah, he's only had 3 TDs. But I mean, they've been lining him up all over the field. He's been lining up at all sides, on the slot, everywhere. I don't know. He really is. He's like the new Art Monk. Like, we have not had an Art Monk since Art Monk, and he's like a real Art Monk. If you need 7 yards, he's going to get you 8. He's not going to get you 5 and fall down.
He's also not going to drop it on 3rd and 4.
Yeah, hopefully.
Dude,
not usually.
I figured out what this stat is when I was like, what is FPTS?
What is it?
Fantasy points. They're listing that as like a normal stat, like it's a real life thing.
You know why?
McLaurin will get 8
gambling.
Points. They're like, McLaurin
because of
points.
Dude, it's because of gambling. Everything's because of gambling. We're going back. I mean, someone dig up Jimmy the Greek, bring it back to Monday Night Football.
Okay. What were we saying? What were you saying?
I was talking about Jimmy the Greek. I don't know what were you talking about.
Before that, I butted in and talked about McLaurin. And you were talking about something, I don't know. Rewind it.
All right, moving on.
We want Dallas. We want Dallas.
We want Dallas.
We want Dallas. We bring it.
You know what I want? I want a stadium that's going to be fun to yell, "We want Dallas" at, instead of that terrible FedEx Field place.
Like the one
we
in
only
that
got
sound
6
clip?
years left of that stadium. 7 years left of that stadium.
Like in that clip with Frank Herzog, where the entire RFK, like, you didn't have to ask what they were chanting. You could just hear it loud and clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you were saying you were going through the injury report when I interrupted you. I just remembered Cornelius Lucas was the last one you said. Was that it? Is that the end?
Yeah,
of it?
and that's why I said, okay, we're done. So let's move on.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Moving on, dude.
My little hamster wheel. Okay. So we need to give our games and kicks then.
Yeah, games and kicks.
Okay, here we go.
It's time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
This week's Kicking the Balls Award is brought to you by Ridapoo.
Ridapoo.
You can go first, John.
I can go first. All right. Well, my Kicking the Balls Award. You know what? I'm going to do a double duty today. My Kicking the Balls Award goes to Chase Young because he got posterized on that play where he started going forward and he just got he got posterized and they just ran right past him. And that made him look like a fool. So he gets a kick in the balls for that.
Okay.
I bet you can't. I bet you can't believe. I bet you can't wait to hear who my game ball is going to as well.
Well, I'm going to give my kick in the balls award to Logan Thomas for dropping more passes. I'm tired of him dropping passes that are right in his hands. Like every week.
Yeah, really hits him in the hands and he can't catch him.
Put
but
in
you know
Hemingway.
what? He's better than Sprinkle.
Is he better than Hemingway?
Put in Hemingway. Why not?
Put in Hemingway.
I don't know.
Let's see what Ernest can do. Settle down,
Put him
preacher.
out there. Put in Ernest.
Pilar?
I love you guys, man.
Okay, so let's see. Josh is gonna give his to Joe Burrows for getting injured.
He said he was going to give his to Joe Burrow because he wasn't able to finish the game, so he's going to give him his kick in the balls.
And he should just
And
tape
Coy
it up
Bacon.
and tape it up and get back in there. I'm also giving
And Coy
mine.
Bacon.
I'm giving another mini kick to Colehan Lucas for not being. I didn't see him play. I was looking forward to seeing Coolhand Lucas.
He was in on special teams, but
Oh,
I
he
do
was?
not believe he made a tackle in this game.
Okay, so that's who I'm giving mine to. And I'm also I know who I wanted to give my kick to.
Huh.
I think I'm doing a double duty also. Wasn't it Ronald Darby
Huh.
who scooped the ball up and tried to run it out of the end zone, and then they on that debacle play, and then they called it a fumble, and for
You
a
are
moment it
correct,
was a
sir.
safety. For a moment it was safety. Dude, just dive on the ball. It's not like you're likely to get it back past the 20-yard line. Just dive on it in the end zone. Dive on
That's
it.
the second week in a row where you just wanted to be like, dive on the damn ball.
Do they not practice this? Just dive on it.
Yeah.
You were in the end. It wasn't like you were on the one. If you're on the one
Yeah.
and you're like, oh crap, I think I can pick it up and get us a little space. Okay, maybe. But it was in the end zone. Dive on the ball.
Yeah.
Dive on it.
Yeah. What a mess. What an absolute mess. That almost was a huge debacle, that play.
All right,
So
he's
that
getting,
goes to your kick goes to Darby.
He's getting that.
Terrence Trent.
Darby. Ronald
What do we have in the peanut gallery?
McDonald Darby. Peanut gallery, we've got nothing. I see no one giving their kicks in the peanut gallery.
We have nothing. Nothing.
No kicks.
Nothing.
Oldie must have switched over to the parade when we started talking about it. And we know that our pals David Herzing and Kenny Ken in Canada are all watching the parade. I called out Kenny Ken this morning. Did you see that in the Discord?
No, did you?
David Herzing was like,
What did he do?
So who in here is still saying we should throw the game? Who was saying we should lose out? And I was just like,
that whole should be.
I was just like,
Yeah.
only Kenny Ken, only at Kenny Ken is what I put in the room. David Herzing's back. They need to hurry up and give their kicks before we move on. So, all right, they're typing something. Anyway, David Herzing must have put the turducken in the fryer, and he's back on. So,
Heck yeah.
I think Donald Trump pardoned the turkey this week and himself, if I remember correctly.
But did he pardon the other turkey?
What happened to the What happens to the turkeys that get presidential pardons? Do they just go out on a farm and live the rest of their life, or like later in the year, the farmers like, you know what? No one's gonna know if I pardon this. I'm having this thing for dinner.
Someone
like-
would go to Virginia Tech. Actually.
And do they become mascots like on the field? Do they take them down there? It's like, here's your Virginia Tech Hokies featuring Cletus, the turkey that was pardoned. I think. This is the official pardoned turkey from Donald Trump 2020. Anyway, all right. No one's giving their
Check
kicks
out the
to the
orange
peanut gallery.
skin.
So we are going
Well, the team
to.
did good, so we had a lot of good people on there.
Yeah.
But we gave our kicks, and so did Josh.
Darby, And you gave yours to
Chase Young.
Chase Young, and
posterize
I
on that
gave
play.
mine to Darby, and Josh gave his to Bro. Okay, so here we go.
I'm pumped.
He's pumped.
And now, the coveted and ever-elusive Game Ball Award.
Game Ball Awards, here we go. Oh, David Herzing gave his kick to Brussels sprouts. Oh, that's a good little segment for Thanksgiving, John. We should give our kicks to our most hated Thanksgiving food. So go for it. Take yours.
Ooh, man.
If you need to think, I know mine. I don't even have
collards.
to think about it. Collard greens?
Collards, anything green.
Dude, where are you from? The North?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Dude,
Collards?
I don't eat collards, man. Collards are gross. They smell bad. They look bad. They taste bad. Who
taste
likes
good.
collards? Not me.
Put the vinegar
Not John
on there.
Adams.
You just got to put more vinegar on them. Good.
I usually eat more turkey or more. Basically, my plate at Thanksgiving is usually meat,
And
potatoes,
no
potatoes.
gravy. No gravy, right? Because you hate sauces.
Not really. Yeah, probably not gravy. Maybe a touch, but maybe. I don't know.
right, so-
It's very beige. My plate is very beige.
Collard greens is yours. The thing with collard greens when I was growing
Yeah,
up,
collard greens, absolutely.
that was a food.
And I mean,
like,
there's a guy selling them like 2 blocks away, like in front of the grocery store, like out of the
Yeah.
back of his truck. It's like big old sign that says collards.
dude, that's what I was about to say. Collard greens are one of those foods, at least in Southern Virginia, where we're from, that you don't buy. Like, it's always you show up and whoever was cooking them was like, look what Martha brought me over from her garden, a whole mess of collard greens that I cooked up for Thanksgiving. You're like, I'm always like, hook it up. You hate them. I like them. Anyway,
I hate
David.
'em. Our next door neighbors used to grow collard greens, and they try to give it to us every year, and I'm like, I'm not going to eat those.
So my Thanksgiving game food kick off the table award is gonna have to go to the cranberry sauce that
Kick
comes
off
in the
the table.
can. You know, they open. Someone
Yeah.
always has it. It's at every Thanksgiving. The beginning of the meal, like someone opens the can and like turns it upside down and shakes it, and it's like and slides onto the plate, and it's like all gelatinous and like sits there, and someone will slice it up. And then at the beginning of the meal, it's sitting there. And at the end of the meal, when everyone's done their pie and dessert, it's still sitting there in the same exact location as where someone put it on the table, and then someone dumps it in the trash. That stuff is nasty.
Pretty much.
The canned cranberry sauce is what I'm kicking. Okay. David Herzing gave his kick to Brussels sprouts, which is funny
Brussels
because
sprouts is good.
we're actually having those today. They're good if you cook them with like enough bacon and like crisp up the outside. But anyway,
Yeah.
they were like miniature
My English
cabbages.
grandmother used to serve those at holidays, and I was just like,
John's like, no. Well, you
But
don't.
I was
Kick,
like, do you want a Brussels sprout? I'm like, no.
well, dude, you don't keep your trim figure by eating collard greens and Brussels sprouts. You have to eat other things like, well, wings,
I don't know.
taquitos.
We had taquitos yesterday. We're having steak today.
Taquitos and steak is how John. That's how John stays fit. All right, here we go.
And now, the coveted and ever-elusive Game Ball Award.
Game Ball Award, brought to you by SHNS Glass Eye. You can chat with SHNS Glass Eye in the Discord server, which is listed here on the YouTube video. So just go to the YouTube and look at the corner of the video where it shows our episode number, and you'll see how to get into the Discord. Okay.
Yep.
So here we are. SHNS Glass Eye brings you the Game Ball Award today. So anyway, John,
All right.
you want to go first?
Chase Young.
For
My
blowing
game
them
ball
up?
goes, and my kick of the balls both go to Chase Young, because after he got posterized on that play, Joe Burrow was scrambling towards the end zone, and he came out. He was running. I remember he was going towards the end zone this way, and Chase Young came up from kind of the center of the field, hit him, fumbled the ball out, and then Terrence Trent D'Arby tried to run the ball out of the end zone.
FF Darby. Fake face Darby.
But I mean, after Chase Young had that one play, he was about the best player on the field. He was just destroying the quarterback or trying to. And again, double team, triple teams. He's getting a lot of attention out there.
Yeah. SHNS Glass Eye popped into the server. He's getting ready to deep fry his bird. Hey, heed our warning, dude. Make sure that thing is dry.
Yeah, right. Drop it in and back up, dude.
And okay, so we don't know what SHNS Glass Eye's kick for Thanksgiving food is, nor do we know what Oldie's food kick is. But Oldie, I guess from Sweden, doesn't really have Thanksgiving, so I don't know what their.
That's true. He's probably just like whatever we're cooking for dinner tonight, I guess. That makes sense.
So basically, Shanny has named his turkey Ezekiel. Good name for the turkey today.
Nice.
Because let's fry him up and serve him. Okay.
Let's fry him up.
I don't want to know about stuffed, but anyway. Okay, here we go. My game ball is going to go to, because I'm doing the double take also. Mine's going to go to fake face Donald Darby because he had a great game. He was defending some serious passes. They were throwing against him early and often, and he was holding up to the challenge in a couple of deep ones. Nice defenses. So I'm going to give mine to Darby also. So, John, who's your game ball Thanksgiving food going to?
My game ball Thanksgiving food.
How about let's narrow it down to dessert. You want to do that? Narrow it down to Thanksgiving dessert.
Ooh, you know what I like for dessert? A lot of people like pumpkin pies and things like that. I like the Oreo cookie cake thing. We put a bunch of Oreos in there and there's whipped cream all over it, and it's I mean, I could eat the whole thing.
Oh, where they basically just crush up Oreos and mix it with whipped cream? I know what you're talking
basically, yeah. And I could eat that entire thing up.
Oh, yeah, and then they get like the Oreo crusts that you can buy, right? Like instead of a normal crust, it's made out of Oreos, and you just crush up more Oreos and whipped cream and put it in there. Yeah, that stuff's good. You're basically eating Oreos and whipped cream.
I love that.
That's good. That's good.
Like as a cake, quote unquote, cake piece of cake.
Yeah,
that's pretty much my favorite. So yeah, that's what I like, the Oreo cookie crumble thing.
I'm kind of torn, but if I'm going with strictly Thanksgiving desserts, I might have to go with the pecan pie. The classic pecan pie.
That's good.
I would say,
I was thinking it would say key lime pie, but I think pecan is nice. That's a good one.
Pecan's nice with some whipped cream on the top. And if you want to get really fancy, I really love the chocolate pecan pie, which is around here known as Derby pie. So I wouldn't say that's technically Thanksgiving. So pecan pie with whipped cream. Runner up for me is going to go to the warm Dutch apple pie with vanilla ice cream. It's got the whole hot cold thing going. So that's mine.
Oh yeah.
Oldie sadly doesn't have Thanksgiving. Although I will say my colleague over in Ireland sent me some pictures and said that he was having Thanksgiving celebration on Tuesday, and we joked him for being 2 days early. But anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, I've been over there for Thanksgiving and to England before, and it's a little hard to find places that are making it a big deal. But you can find places.
Eating, drinking,
but don't go to your local pub and be like, I need a Thanksgiving dinner tonight, and they're like, all right.
Okay, so we need game balls from the peanut gallery if you guys have time before dropping that turkey in the Bayou deep fryer machine.
In the fryer.
But yeah, and we have to give Josh's. Josh's game ball is going to go to
Joe Burrow.
For playing awesome?
For playing awesome, for almost getting that touchdown before he got strip sacked, and then he got his knee destroyed.
He got destroyed
later, like just like a couple plays later.
Okay, Oldie's giving
the next play if I remember.
Oldie is giving his to Antonio Gibson, and we didn't even really talk about Gibson that much today, but he had a solid game, dude. Almost 100 yards.
He really did.
And if you add in his catch, he did have over 100 all-purpose yards. So that's a good one. He just keeps looking better every week. I noticed a few times in this game.
He's got 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns, dude. 8 touchdowns.
I have noticed, and I've spoken to you about this, there's a lot of times where I'm like, dude, cut left. There's a huge hole or whatever, and he just doesn't see it. But I think that's going to come. He's getting better at it. But yeah, he had a great game.
He is getting better. This is only his second season of playing running back. He played wide receiver before this. And when you look at him, you can see he's pretty thick for a wide receiver at this point. So
yeah, that's a good one, Oldie. And I guess the other guys are too busy cooking and trying to watch us on their phone, like while they're outside and whatnot. So anyway, I think that about rounds it up. We'll let people. You want to let people get back to the parade and get ready? Oh, really? It's overcast here. Yeah. We gotta let people get back to the game and pre-gaming and getting ready to have some time, probably social distance with their family. But anyway,
I'm getting pumped, man.
Oh, I'm pumped. David Herzing gives his to Settle. Yes, Settle is cool. Didn't he have a sack? I remember him having a sack.
He did have he had a big sack.
Yeah.
Settle had a big sack. He did.
Oh, man. Anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to everyone in the Peanut Gallery today, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, even though it's this weird 2020.
DJ Cool Ford, Bryce Johnson.
Hopefully next year we'll actually be over
David
this
Herzing,
pandemic.
Of course, Oldie, Glass Eye.
Past this pandemic and actually get to go to a game again. And
that's what I'm hoping for next season. I'm really pumped to get back to, I don't know, being outside and having a couple beers before the game, and you just miss it. You miss going to games.
Yep. Anyway, I think that probably about rounds it out. Right?
So the game is scheduled for what, 4:30?
4:30 kick. Plan your festivities accordingly. That's why I got up at 5 to start the brisket today.
And don't forget, tonight's game is canceled.
Yep. Anyway,
which is the Steelers at whatever it is. Anyway, they're playing on Sunday. Whatever.
Ravens. I think. Yeah. I mean. Anyway, have a happy Thanksgiving. Hail to the Redskins football team, Washington football team. And as always, if you see a Cowboys fan this week, hopefully it'll be after a sweep.
Sweep. That's what I'm talking about. You know what to do. Joke 'em!